So we've known for a while now that Off-White and Nike are coming out with a collaboration or two with a few really high-profile ones, especially the Air Jordan 1 Off-White, that have been circulating around for a while. Pictures of them, a lot of celebrities, Instagram people like Ian Connor with pairs of the shoe. But at least for myself, up until recently, until Nike officially put out a statement and more information on the shoes, I had no idea the full extent that they were doing 10 shoes. That's a lot of shoes for one collaboration. So I thought it'd be fun to go through each one of the shoes, talk about how I feel about it, and which ones I think are going to be hot sellers, which ones that I personally like, what I think resale is going to be like. I just thought it'd be something fun to do. Now, for a little bit of pretext for myself here, Off-White is like really hot brand right now. See tons of people wearing it, especially younger people. It's unavoidable if you go into department stores, Barney's, Neiman Marcus, wherever. It's just everywhere. Now, I personally do not fuck with Off-White at all, the clothing. I don't think there's a single item Off-White has ever made, piece of clothing, that I've enjoyed. Despite that, this, what is officially being titled Virgil Abloh Nike at the 10, there's a few of these shoes that I really like a lot, but since there's 10, they really run the gambit. Like, there's some in here that I think are fucking god-awful, and other ones that I would love to have. So the first one we're looking at here is the Nike Blazer. I can't even blame Virgil Abloh for this. I fucking hate this shoe, just in general, and he was not able to fix it for me. Yeezy Mafia, they claim that this shoe is going to go for $130 US, which is pretty cheap for being an Off-White product. Now, this is definitely going to be one of the least popular in the collection. I don't think this is good. This might resell for what, like $250? Now, you might be thinking, well, dude, these are like Off-White. Off-White's so hot. These are going to sell for a lot no matter what. I'm not convinced of that entirely, because when you've got 10 shoes, it's kind of like Supreme when Supreme drops a ton of stuff. You know, some stuff is allowed to kind of sift down to the bottom and not be worth that much because there's just so much dropping at the same time. I think that might happen with some of these Off-White Nike shoes. But really, the shoe itself is just bad. The swoosh looks really awkward on it. I'm not fucking with this one. Next up is the Air Max 90. I really like what he's done with this. The original shoe looks like shit, in my opinion. Looks like a really cheap shoe in the bargain bin. He's really reinvigorated this shoe. I love what looks like to be suede paneling. It's kind of on the bottom above the sole, and then like the patch on the back by where your heel would be, if you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Looks really good. Then you've got the like diamond crosshatch pattern near the eyelets, near the laces. That looks good. And I think that the body tag, or I guess zip tag, looks really good on this shoe too. Now this one, Yeezy Mafia says this is going for about $160, and let's just say resale, I'll guess maybe $500. I would love to have these. I also like how now they do have the shoelaces with the quotation marks. I'll get into what I think about the quotation marks thing later on when we get into more shoes that more heavily utilize that. But there's no Air written on the side of this. It's just a plain shoe. I think these look dope. Would love to have them. Next up is the Nike Air Vapor Max. Now, this is also a good opportunity for me to talk about how I feel about this shoe in general. And I have to say that I actually like it. Ever since it came out, I've been into it, especially the Comme des Garçons ones, which are really expensive now, so I'm probably never going to get those. But I do like the shoe in general. And I think that Virgil has really come through on this one. This is probably in the top 3 for me out of this collaboration. This one is just really good looking. You see what he's done with the tongue here. He's replaced the tongue with like an old school Nike tongue. It looks sick. And I like that he's kept this shoe black and didn't try to do a lot of the shoes here have like that kind of beige, like white shades of white and cream to them, and he did not try to do that here. He just kept this shoe predominantly black. I also like the swoosh on it. It has that raw kind of prototype stitch to it, which is prominent throughout a few of the other shoes here as well. Now, here with this Vapor Max, we also run into our first encounter with the notorious Air with quotation marks on it around on the side. So these fucking quotation marks, man, they really are haunting me. I was listening to the Little Uzi Vert album that came out recently, and it has like off-white design on the front where it's like off-white tape, and then it has quotation marks around the tape. I just can't escape these fucking quotation marks. You have to think about this for a second. Not a single one of these shoes is available to the general public yet, and myself and a lot of other people already sick of the quotation mark thing. There's just something kind of obnoxious to it, and I don't think it adds anything. Like, let's say you had this shoe with the Air and even the shoelaces written on the shoelaces, right? But take away the quotation marks, like, it would be fine. I probably wouldn't bitch about it. But just the quotation marks, there's something obnoxious, pretentious, perhaps, about it. Ugh. Now, just setting that aside, though, I do love the shoe, would like to have these, but they're probably not in my future. The retail on them is $250, and since the Vapor Max is so new, and since these are clearly good looking, I can imagine them going for like maybe $1,000 plus resale, maybe $1,100, $1,200 resale. Especially taking into consideration that the CD I'm looking right now on Flight Club. I know Flight Club is the prices are inflated, but the Vapor Max Comme des Garçons edition going for $600 on there. So I can imagine these off-white ones being like $1,000. Next is the Air Presto. Now, normally the Air Presto, I don't think it's a bad shoe. I actually kind of like the Air Presto. The one problem I have with it is that it looks a little bit cheap. Now, this is another one in my top 3 up with the Vapor Max. I think he killed it on this one. Looks sick to me. The sole, I love the sole. He's got like a cream color on the sole, as well as the lacing cage, also kind of in a cream color, slightly lighter. And then the actual upper, it's like you can see the mesh is like torn up a little bit. It's kind of got a patchwork vibe to it, as well as the tongue. It's a little beat up, more prototype looking as well. And then you can see the swoosh kind of poking out from beneath the lacing cage. Looks really good. I think that the tag also suits this shoe well too. Now, the curious thing about the tag, though, are people going to buy these and leave that on or take it off? I don't know. We'll have to see what people do with that. I mean, if I got these, I would definitely leave the tag on. So this is another shoe that we have information from the Yeezy Mafia on. Thank you, Yeezy Mafia. They claim that the Air Presto is going to go for $160. Now, I can't even really make a prediction on the resale of these because I don't know if people are going to fuck with these like I am. Like the other ones that I kind of appraised them very high and said they would have high resale. I don't know if these have high resale. They could have high resale, but I'm not like, I wouldn't bet money on it. Let's just say that. Let's conservatively say that these will resale for like 500, 400, which is still a lot, but not as much as I think some of the other ones will resale for. Really, the only thing I don't like about this shoe is that little, see the little, that little thing on the back there with the air and the quotation marks? Oh, God. It's almost like, it's like a smug anime girl. Like, it's such a smug thing with the little quotation marks. And it kind of seems unnecessary on this shoe. Like, I don't know if that really needs to be there at all. Quotation marks, with or without quotation marks. I don't know if writing needs to be there, but, you know, I'd still happily wear these. Then this is the big ticket item here, of course, the Air Jordan 1. We've seen tons of pictures of people with these. Abloh has been giving them out like candy to a lot of celebrities and rappers, what have you. I think these look dope. These complete the trifecta for me of the top 3 shoes. They look fantastic. The little tag on there is great because normally I'm not a Jordan guy. I don't have any Jordans. I kind of passively enjoy the Jordan 1 and the Jordan 4, but I do know that Jordans, I think they come with that little tag with like the Jumpman logo on them, that plastic thing, and you're supposed to take it off or something, but some people leave it on. I feel like that's kind of what that off-white red zip tag is kind of representing there. That's just my interpretation of that. I mean, he really nailed the prototype-esque look of this. I love how the swoosh is sewn on. It's free-floating. If you look at other people's pictures, the little splotch of orange fabric at the back of the swoosh looks great. And if you've seen up-close pictures of these from other people on Instagram, you would know that the toe box, it's instead of being perforated because it's like a fabric material, it looks like it's been scratched up with like a toothpick or something. It looks awesome. These really stand out from the other 10 too because they're the only ones that don't have predominantly black and white color schemes. You know, he's kept the classic Jordan red and white look here, which I do appreciate. Now, I think we all unanimously agree that this is probably going to be the most hyped up shoe of this collection, if not of the year. Oh yeah, I forgot one other thing. These come with like different color laces. I think it's like green, orange, and then the black that you see here pictured. But if I had these, I think they look amazing with those neon green laces. I think that's a must if you get these. And that's only if you get these. Now, is anyone going to get these? Probably not. The retail is $190, which is reasonable, about what you would expect from like a retro Jordan 1, I suppose. I think that's about what they go for. But I imagine resale on these being like the very first drop of the Adidas Yeezy 750 Boost. These are going to go for like fucking, I don't even want to imagine, like $1,500, $1,200 maybe, if you're lucky. They're going to be an expensive fucking shoe, I can tell you that. Just from all the hype surrounding them, the fact that it's a Jordan, the fact that it does actually look good, the fact that it's off-white, the fact that people have been rocking these that are famous, that are people that are influential to a lot of people that are into shoes and stuff like that. I would absolutely love to have a pair of these, but I know that that's not in my future, so I'm just giving up right now. Alright, so I'm on the actual like Nike news page for these shoes. The first set of 5 that we just went through were called Revealing, and this next set is called Ghosting. So the first shoe up in the Ghosting section is the Converse Chuck Taylor, the classic Chuck. Now this might throw a few people off, but Converse is actually owned by Nike, so it's not crazy for him to do this. Now I conceptually really like this shoe. You can kind of see that it is transparent, hence the name Ghosting, and you can see on the other side that where the Converse All-Star, like the little star patch thing is, you can see where the writing is. All these shoes have like that writing on them. I know the Jordan 1 has it for sure, where it's like Virgil Abloh with Nike, and then it has the year the shoe was initially designed. If you look at this, you can see this is the most egregious example of the quotation marks. It says vulcanized, which is the process that Converse used to make their soles with the rubber. They vulcanized the rubber or whatever to make it more sturdy. But goddamn, does writing it on the side of quotation marks look dumb as fuck. It does. It looks dumb as fuck. That's how I would describe that. But if you take that off, if you take the vulcanized off, if you put your hand over it on the screen, I actually do fuck with these. I like the little tag on them. The only problem I have with them is that they look good in a picture, but the second you put these on your feet, you're going to have your foot like going through the translucent thing, and then it's like, what do you wear these with? I think that these are utterly unwearable, and that's the big problem with them. Yeezy Mafia doesn't have any like retail pricing rumors on this. I'm just going to take a guess that these will retail for like $90, $100, and these are probably not going to be worth that much. Let's say these will be worth like $200, $250. Oh, this one broke my heart a little bit. It's the Nike Air Max 97. Now, I don't actually like the Nike Air Max 97, just the base original colorways and models. But a while back, Supreme, who I'm not really a big fan of, but I like a few things they do, they did a Air Max 97 collaboration, and I really liked their take on it. The one with the snakeskin looks really good, and there was an all-black model as well that I really liked. Unfortunately, in my opinion, Virgil did not deliver us a good shoe here. The swoosh looks really awkward. I feel like the design of the shoe, since he took it's such like a monochromatic tone here of the colors, that you've lost the design of the shoe, and it just makes it look kind of bad. Like on the upper, I'm looking at the Supreme version right now. I'll have a picture of it in the video. The Supreme versions and the original versions as well have a very clear defining, there's like a piping that goes through the middle of the upper, and it clearly separates the bottom and the top, which are then colored differently on a lot of these models. This is just like, you've lost all form to the shoe. It's just like an amorphous blob, and that sole on the bottom is not helping. It makes it, this version, this take on it is making the sole look really bad too. And then the body tag on it looks kind of goofy. He's like, the lace is like dipped in green wax or something. I definitely don't like these. I don't think these are going to be worth that much, and they better not retail for much. They'll probably retail for like 120, 150, somewhere in there. Resale at like 200, 250. I don't think these are going to be worth much. This one also broke my heart a little bit too. It's the Nike Air Force One. It's such a classic design, and there's been so many good takes on it. I feel like it's easy to make a good version of the Air Force One. And in my opinion, this is like, God, you would just have to change like two things on this and then it would be good. The swoosh is like very blended in, that's okay, but I don't like the sole. So the sole, it looks like it just bleeds into the upper of the shoe. There's no definition between the two. And it again, just like that Air Max that we looked at, it's like an amorphous blob of design. And I don't know if that's just because of this picture, but I don't like it. I think that regardless of that, because it is an Air Force One, that these are going to be worth a lot of money, probably in the neighborhood of like 500, 550 resale probably. But I myself, I don't think I like these. I don't think I'd want to have them. This next shoe makes me feel like they wanted to have like, they had like 9 good ones or 9 decent ones. And then they're like, yo, we got to have 10 so we can call it the 10 so we can have a nice round number. Because this just seems so unnecessary. It seems like no thought was put into it whatsoever. Just like take a random Nike model off the shelf and have Virgil fuck with it and put quotation marks on it. So this is the Nike React Hyperdunk. Never fucking heard of it. Oh, 2017, so it's like a new model of whatever this is. This looks like the kind of shoe that you wear to actually play basketball in rather than to look cool, because it's an ugly shoe. I can't think of a single thing I like on this shoe. I can think of a lot of things that I hate. The sole looks hideous. The little like perforated Velcro holder looks ugly as fuck. The foam with the quotation marks around the side it hurts to look at. It's the most smug of all the quotation marks on any of these shoes. The funniest part is these will probably be like the most expensive retail because it's like a new basketball shoe with tech in it. It'll probably be like $200. Resale will probably be $180. They'll be worth less. No one's gonna want them. And the very last shoe we have here is the Nike Zoom Vaporfly. Now, this must be a new shoe from like 2017 because I think the Vapor thing is new. I don't know. I'm not a big Nike fan, but these have to be new shoes because I've never heard of them. These are kind of sad too because I actually kind of like them, but that foam with the quotation marks on the bottom is just too fucking much. Like some of the shoes that have Air written on the side, like the Air Presto or the Jordan 1, I can kind of, bear it. I can kind of take it. But on here, it's ruining the shoe. Again, since these are a newer shoe, a newer model with probably newer technology in them, expect these to retail for like 180, 175, something like that. And I don't think people are going to be fucking with these as much as I do, so let's put resale at like 300, 350, something like that. Getting your hands on any of these shoes is probably not going to be easy. So this is from the official Nike website, the news post for these shoes. Nike will host Nike off-campus events in New York City and London to celebrate the 10 through presentations of the full collection and exchanges about the idea that inspired it, blah, blah, blah. The first 5 icons of the 10, the Air Jordan 1, Nike Blazer, Air Presto, Air Max 90, and Air Vapor Max, will be pre-released at Nike stores in New York City September 9 through 13, London September 18th through the 22nd, Milan, and then Paris. I assume that anyone watching those dates for Milan and Paris will be irrelevant. If any of you guys are trying to get a pair of these, good luck. You're probably going to need it. Otherwise, if you have any of these shoes that you liked, if you have any thoughts, put them down below, I guess, and thanks for watching.